Hello, my name is Madam Jennifer from Educare TZ. Welcome my lovely Form 4 students in our proceeding biology lecture series, and we are currently proceeding with our biology topic, which is classification of the living things, and we are currently proceeding with the last subsection, which is the phylum Chordata. We have already discussed two classes of the phylum Chordata, which is the class Chondrichocyte and Osteocyte. Now, in our today's session, we are going to discuss on the class Amphibia. When we talk on the Amphibia, this means that the organisms which are likely to live the double life, meaning that they tend to live in both environments. They tend to live both in aquatic environment and the terrestrial environment. So these organisms, they are double life organisms, meaning that they depend on both habitats so as to complete their life cycle. They cannot live independently from water. Also, they do live in they live partially in water, so they live partially in terrestrial environment so as to complete their life cycle. So it is said that these members of the class amphibians, they was been originating from the fish. So, and that's why they have been restricted in some cases to live in aquatic environment. Also, they try to involve different features which enable them so as to survive into the terrestrial environment. So they tend to live the partial life, or which is called the double life. So the term amphibians come from a Greek name which called it the amphi. The amphi, this meaning both, and bios, this means the life. So therefore, amphibia literally means the double life. So these are the organisms which live the double life. So this is due to fact that amphibia live both in water and on land. So most of amphibia spend their life partially in aquatic environment and partially in terrestrial environment. So they have two pairs of pentadactyl limbs for locomotion, except caecilians, which are limbless. The member of the phylum amphibians, they have two pairs of pentadactyl limbs, which are used for locomotion, which is usually for this level for jumping. Also, there are some members which develop no limbs, so are limbless throughout their life. These organisms, they tend to have metamorphosis. They tend to undergo the metamorphosis, while some organisms, they tend to metamorphose from the larval form to become the adult, where during the larval form they tend to have the tail, while the adult one, example of frog, do not possess the tail. While there are some member like these caecilians, they tend to retain their larval form into the adult, and this is called the neotogeny or neoteny. So the forelimbs of some amphibians have less musculature, with the hind leg of frog and toad along with powerful muscle for jumping. When you observe their limbs, their forelimbs and hind limbs, their forelimbs are not much masculinely, meaning that they are not much adapted for jumping, while the hind limbs, the one which are long, also they are very strong for the adaptation for the jumping, also for locomotion. So also, all amphibians lay egg in water except some caecilian and some toad. Most of amphibians, with the exception to this caecilian and some toad, they tend to lay gelatinous egg. Their egg are gelatinous, meaning that they are made up of these shells, gelatinous shell like structure, ambazo zenyewe zinakuwa zina depend katika maji. They cannot live outside of the water, and therefore they are released into the water so that they can swim and they become fertilized by the male gamete. So this is how the fertilization in this organism takes. So they tend to produce this gelatinous egg, which cannot survive outside of the water. So hapo inafanya wawe dependent kuishi katika aquatic environment. Vile vile, due to their life cycle and psychology, many amphibians are tied to water bodies in order to survive and reproduce. So these amphibians, they cannot reproduce outside of the water body, so they have to return to the water body for reproduction, where they tend to reproduce these gelatinous egg, which are most important digestion. So that's why they are released into the water kwa ajili ya na vile vile kwa ajili ya fertilization by the male sperm ambazo zipo katika maji, na be released vile inafanyika pale fertilization na kuweza kupata this larval form frog. Vile vile most amphibians undergo metamorphosis from aquatic larval stage to terrestrial adult stage. So during their life cycle, they tend to undergo metamorphosis, where their larval stage amphibia tend to live in aquatic environment, while the adult one tend to live in the terrestrial environment. Because this larval form, they tend to use the gill for the gaseous exchange, while the adult one, they tend to use their lungs. They have lungs, but are not well developed for the gaseous exchange or for the sweating of the dry oxygen outside of water body. But they tend to turn back into the water for sexual reproduction. Also, amphibians have this thick tongue that help them in capturing prey. This is one of the adaptive features of amphibians. They tend to have this thick tongue, which tend to attack the prey. Example, they tend to feed on this housefly and others. Vile vile amphibia also are poicothems. The poicothems wao ni wale organism ambao their body temperature tend to fluctuate with that of the external environment, meaning that hawana uwezo kuweza control their internal body temperature. Their body temperature tend to vary with that of the external temperature, meaning that kama environment itakuwa ni too cold, na wenyewe watasuffer from the overcooling, na kama environment itakuwa ni too hot, watasuffer from overheating. Vile vile example wa amphibia kuna frogs, kuna toads, kuna caecilian pamoja na salamander. These are the example of the organism or animals which are found within the class amphibia. Example ndio hapa tunaona hapa hivi. Huyu hapa ndio caecilian ambaye ni limbless. Alafu huyu hapa ndio frogs, and this one also the amphibia ambayo ni colored one. So as you see here, this is one, huyu hapa ndio salamander, huyu hapa ni caecilian, huyu hapa ni frog. Those are the example of the members of animals which are found within the class amphibia. So the distinctive features of the amphibia. So hizi hapa ni sifa ambazo zinamdistinguish amphibia with other members of the class class Chordata. So they have protruding eyes for wide visibility of prey. Wanakuwa na macho yao yametoka kwa nje. Hii hapa inasaidia katika kuweza kuongeza ile visibility ya kuweza kuangalia prey yuko wapi. Vile vile amphibian egg have jelly structure. Unasema kwamba wana produce gelatinous eggs ambayo inakuwa na jelly structure, which is prone to dehydration when exposed to air. So that's why they are limited to be released into the water. Vile vile during the larval stage, amphibia use gill for gaseous exchange. So that's why also they tend to live this double life. Vile vile in adult amphibia use their skin when they in water and lung when they on land. Kwa wale adult wenyewe, this amphibia wanakuwa na moist skin ambao wanatumia their skin for the gaseous exchange, continuous gaseous exchange. Na vile vile akiwa outside of water wanakuwa wanatumia lungs for gaseous exchange, lakini vile vile inasaidiwa na this moist skin kwa sababu their lungs are not well developed to extract a large amount of oxygen. Vile vile they have the moist skin. This is one of the adaptation to the terrestrial environment kwa ajili ya kuweza kureduce the dehydration of the water loss. So their skin are made up of this moist skin due to kwa sababu within their body kuna glands ambazo produce mucus kwa ajili ya kuensure kwamba muda wote wanakuwa na baki moist kwa ajili ya kuweza kureduce the problem of dehydration or drying out. So they have this moist skin and mostly occupy both water and land environment. As you see here, hapa ndio mchoro wa frog na toad. Usia anakuwa na moist skin, anakuwa na ngozi yake nyororo, inakuwa ni slippery, inakuwa na utelezi, haina scales. Na vile vile anakuwa this protruding eyes kwa ajili ya kuongeza visibility, anakuwa na nostril, anakuwa na one single opening. Vile vile hapa anakuwa na distinct two body parts ambayo ni head na pamoja na trunk, as you see here. And this masculine powerful hind limbs kwa ajili ya jumping. Na vile vile this forelimbs yake ni not well masculine kama hind limb. Na vile vile wanakuwa na this webbed feet as one adaptation kwa ajili ya swimming wanapokuwa katika aquatic environment. Na unavyoona their body wapo sana chini, so they are not well appraised. Kwa anakuwa na suffer from the problem of gravity wanapokuwa katika terrestrial environment. Vile vile as you see here, anakuwa unaona hapa katika mdomo wake, kwa mfano unakuta this one of the adaptation kwa ajili ya kuweza conserve the water. Unaweza kumkuta chura yuko katika terrestrial, unakuta kama amevimbisha, kama kuna maji fulani hivi yamejaa pale. Kwa ile ni moja ya adaptation katika conservation of water, na vile vile katika kuweza kuongeza the flow of oxygen of the blood. Now the economic importance of the amphibia. The same tuviangalia kwa other classes vile vile, amphibians nao wana faida nyingi sana kwa human beings, kwa other organism and so forth. So the advantages now, some amphibians are source of food to human and other organisms such as snake and bat. So there are some amphibia wanatumia kama source of food. Kwa mfano kama chura analiwa. There are some society, some community wanakula chura, wanakuwa wanatoa tu ile pale toxic, ile yenye venom wanakuwa naitoa, hivyo wanapika chura na wanamla those stories. Na vile vile wanakuwa ni source of food kwa other organism, kwa mfano kama nyoka, ndege, vile vile analiwa na chura. Wanamla chura. Vile vile they are used in biological studies and research. For example, frog and toads are dissected in school laboratory to study various body systems. Katika mashuleni tunapokuwa tunasoma kwa mfano digestive system, circulatory system, kwa mfano tunaenda kuangalia the structure of the heart, digestive system, tunaenda kuangalia structure of stomach, nervous system, central nervous system, tunakuwa tunatumia hapa frog kwa ajili ya kuweza kuelewa kwa zaidi. Kwa tunachukua chura, tunampasua, tunamdissect, na hivyo kuweza kuelewa this body system, kwa sababu inakuwa ni they are less expensive. Unaweza enda katika points pale ukawakuta, wakachukua na wakaweza kufanya the study kawa real, wanafunzi wakaelewa kwa urahisi. Na vile vile hata mkifika katika level ya form 6 mtafanya dissection ya our frogs, mtawafanya rats, mende and so forth. Vile vile since they eat flies, well, they help to eliminating diseases vectors such as house flies. Kwa mfano kwa sababu hao amphibians wanakuwa this sticky tongue ambayo inasaidia katika kuweza kucapture prey. Kwa mfano kama hawa flies wanasaidia katika kuweza kureduce the number of housefly, ambao housefly ni moja ya vector disease for particular disease. Kwa mfano when once this teniasis, schistosomiasis diseases, teniasis especially for those teniasis na amoebic dysentery. Yes, amoebic dysentery ambayo ina caused by the eating the contaminated food or water. The carrier wa hawa amoebic dysentery ambao sababisha amoeba ni hawa housefly, ambao once wanapokuwa natua katika chakula ambacho either kijahifadhiwa vizuri, wa tend to release those feces ambao may contain the infected amoeba, ambao once ingested inaweza kapelekea amoebic dysentery to a person. Vile vile in addition, some amphibians have unique features that attract researchers and tourists as a source of income. Kuna baadhi ya amphibians, kwa mfano kama hawa chura, wanakuwa wengine wana be colored, wengine wana rangi ya weusi na pamoja na njano. They are very toxic wale, lakini wani more attractive kwa kuangalia wanavutia. So they use as a touristic attraction na vile vile as a source of income. Vile vile the secretion used by native to produce toxin that used for hunting purpose. Tunasema kwamba this amphibia, kwa mfano kama frog and this gland ambazo na produce the mucus. So the secretion hizi hapa zinatumika kama sumu ambazo na zinatumika katika mambo ya kuinda. So this amphibia, hata huyu frog anakuwa na sumu kali sana. Inkisa hata mtu akichukua sumu kutoka kwa amphibia akaipaka hata katika kama ni mshale mkuki akakuchoma nao, you must die. It's very toxic. Now the disadvantages of amphibia. The first one, during the breeding period, some amphibians such as male frog and toad make loud noise thus annoying people living in that environment. Kwa mfano wakati wa mvua, wakati maji unakuwa hapo mengi, maji yametoma pale, ndio wakati wa breeding sana. Unakuta ile milio ya frogs. Ile pale milio yao wao wanatoa kwa ajili ya kuweza kuattract the mates. Lakini kwa watu wanakuwa wanaona kama kelele. Kwa hiyo inakuwa ina produce this annoying noise kwa watu, hivyo wanakuwa wanaona kama kelele. Vile vile they also contribute to water pollution by laying eggs on the surface of water. During the breeding season unaona kwamba this female frog they tend to lay this gelatinous egg katika surface of water. So ukikuta pale mayai yamejipanga yanakuwa kama cycle fulani hivi, inakuwa tayari imeshachafua yale maji, so they tend to pollute water, na maji yanakuwa yapo tena safe kwa sababu yanakuwa yana yale larvae of those particular frogs. Vile vile some frogs stored and naughty produce toxic which can cause skin irritation and severe symptom if ingested. Kwa hiyo ndio maana nasema wanasababisha water pollution. Kwa mfano ukuta yale mayai yako pale over the surface, afu uchukue tu tumie. They are very toxic. So make sure that once unapokuta yale maji yapo tayari yana gelatinous egg of frog usiyatumie. Kwa sababu ukitumia ndio kaogea yatawasha, na vile vile kama hata ukinywa unaweza kupata matatizo. Also, toxic from toad can cause seizure, cardiac effect or even death. Kwa hiyo sumu kutoka kwa hawa hapa frogs inaweza kasababisha kifo, inaweza kapelekea seizure na madhara mbalimbali. That's why nasema kwa they are very toxic, and that's why they are used by those watu wawindaji katika hunting. Now before I sum up my session, I would like to give you this simple task. Please, you have to take a look through it so that you can improve your understanding. My simple question are, the first one, explain how amphibians are adapted to terrestrial environment to avoid desiccation. Tumesema kwamba amphibia, these are the double life organism, meaning that they live partially katika water na partially katika terrestrial environment. So, and they have these features of already kama nilivyofundisha. I am sure that mtaweza kutackle this question very well kama mko mnasikiliza kwa makini. Vile vile the second question, describe the structure of the frog. And the last one, explain the economic importance of amphibians to human. My lovely Form 4 students, please stay tuned on Educare TZ, and in a coming session tutaenda kudiscuss the class reptile as one of the class of the phylum Choroides. Please keep on following. Thank you for your attention. Welcome for the next session.